All right. I am here doing the controls tonight and the band. I forgot the band. Eric is on assignment tonight. And so the band, I don't know what happened to the band. I don't know what to do, guys. What do I do without the band? Hold on here. I can get a band intro.
Yeah, because neither one of us can sing. So
yeah. I don't know where the band's going. What do we do with the band? Shoot, I forgot all about the band. See what happens? Eric goes on assignment and the whole show goes to pot. There we go. All right, no music tonight. Well,
actual conversation.
Yeah, there's no music. I don't have any music, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. That's the way it goes. No intro. I can do the intro all over again. Try it again.
How
about we just there we go. All right. No music tonight. Too bad. I don't know where it goes in here. I thought it was all hooked up with music to go. But hey, the Giants weren't playing any music tonight until the 8th inning when they woke up. Again, led by Elliot Ramos with a 3-run homer. Too little too late, as they say. As the Giants got down early, stayed behind. It was 8-0, and it was pretty much over. You kind of felt it. Then the Giants make this late comeback that looks like a possibility in the bottom of the ninth. Could they pull it off? But no, too little too late, as they got 5 runs in the 8th. It was 8-1 going into the 8th, and they scored 5 runs in that 8th inning. A big hit by Yaz off the wall for a double that got one man home, and then Ramos followed him up with a 3-run shot to straightaway center. Buster, hey, stop. Okay, dog's bugging me over there. 3-run shot makes it 8-6. Ramos raises his average up to 314, goes 2 for 3, 3 RBIs, 2 base on balls. And where do the Giants get hurt tonight? The vets. Yep, those older vets. Those dare I say, those older white guys.
Hey.
Slater.
You're not lying.
And Chapman. Slater and Chapman. 0 for 8 combined. 2 Ks by Slater. He goes 0 for 4. He's hitting 196. But yeah, we love Austin Slater after a good week. There we go. Let's all praise Austin Slater. The guy. Oh, yes. And Ryan says, don't forget Solair. Solair did go 1 for 3. Plus, he got hit by a pitch. So, but Solair not doing the job. Let me look at a different box score that gives me LOB, left on base, because this one did not give me the left on base, and I want to see how that looks. Did Solair leave any? Oh, this one doesn't give me left on base either. I can't remember if Solair left guys on base as he usually does. But let's take a look at these whopping batting averages for the San Francisco Giants. Austin Slater, 0 for 4, hitting 196. His on-base percentage is .328. Ramos almost has a higher batting average than Slater's on-base average, Los. Chapman, 0 for 4. He does have a .310 on base. Elliot Ramos has a higher batting average than Matt Chapman has an on-base percentage. How's that for you, guys? Wilmer Flores, 1 for 4, hitting .218. Yeah, Ramos has a higher on-base percentage, or his batting average. Let me put it this way. His batting average, .314, is higher than Chapman at 310 on base, Flores 291, Solair 303, Conforto 297, Estrada 265, and Ahmed 281. He's got a higher on base percentage with just his batting average than 6 guys in the lineup. That's pathetic.
There's nothing quite like Giants baseball than to have Yaz hitting 216, pinch hitting for Slater hitting 196 late in the game to try to rally. Now you got to hit, but that doesn't justify it. So when we have a right-hander on the mound, we'll just kind of flip the roles, and we'll have 196 Slater hitting for 216 Yaz in the 8th or 9th inning, and hope that lightning strikes again.
Yeah, the Slaz brothers. And they sent this young man 22 years packing because the Giants and Farhan believe in guys hitting under 200 with a K rate of both of them at 30%. And Matos down about 10%. How's that for you? They strike out almost a third of the time, where Matos only striking out 1/10 of the time. These guys strike out 3 out of every 10 bats. Matos 1 out of every 10 at bats. Who do you want to send up there?
Yeah, these guys pinch hitting doesn't exactly invoke fear like Joe Youngblood and Manny Mota back in the day.
Yeah, Ahmed comes up with 2 hits tonight, but you know what? Ahmed, he's going to get you hits every now and then. They're dinkers to left field generally over the. I don't know why an outfield would play. One of the ones was a dropped in front of the left fielder. You know what? When Nick Ahmed comes up to the plate, to me, it's like the little league bat. You know, when everybody comes in for the worst hitter. Why are you playing Nick Ahmed any further than 300 feet?
Who was the kid in the Bad News Bears right fielder? Was it Lupus? Is that going to be Ahmed's nickname, Lupus?
I don't know. His arm. He hit all of his throws to first base tonight. Pretty much one hop or had to go down and scoop it up. Flores. This guy's arm. I don't know. Yeah, he gets to the balls, but
he's a second baseman. He's a second baseman. I mean, he'd probably be better at second with that arm. I mean, because he does sweep it up. He fields his position very well. But you can't make throws from the hole at shortstop. And when you're turning a double play and you got a speedy guy coming down the line, you know, throwing him out or not throwing him out could be the difference between, you know, scoring some runs and not scoring runs in that inning. So arm is part of your defensive, you know, resume. And Ahmed has about, on a scale of 1 to 10, about a 3 arm. He's got about an 8 glove. So no way, shape, or form saying that Luciano's better at fielding, but he's a much better hitter. So
how long do you think
we'll see how that plays out?
How long do you think they go with Ahmed and Wisely at shortstop?
As long as they're healthy.
I mean, and Wisely. I mean, Wisely's hitting 3 something. I don't know what is Wisely hitting. He's let's take a look. Wisely is hitting 317. Okay. He's on base 333. So he's barely walking. So Wisely is, differences. See, just to give you an idea, Wisely's hitting 317 with a 333 batting average. Ramos hitting 314 with a 414 on base. Wisely 333 on base. Basically the same batting average, but he's on base 67 points higher. So 6.7% of the time he's on base more Ramos, because Ramos is taking walks like he did tonight.
Yeah.
He took a couple more walks tonight. Elliot Ramos is their best player, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And to think, Los, what pisses me off, he was sent down in camp, 2 weeks into camp, wasn't even given a shot at making this club. Didn't even get a chance to prove himself in camp. Just like, you're done. You're not going to make this team. And
predetermined.
That's how bad, how stupid, how idiotic, how dumb, how mind-boggling, how far he has his head up as you know what. Come on. You're going to tell me this guy that looks like a 5, he's got your best arm, he hits the ball at the highest exit velocity. He seems to have as much power as anyone other than Solair. He's your fastest runner. He can hit, and you don't even give him a shot to make it on this club until half your outfield goes down to injury. Conforto, Lee, and Slater all had to go down before Ramos gets a shot. Now, you tell me that this guy knows what he's doing, and you want to run with him, Giants ownership? You got a stinking clown running the show for you. I mean, just to tell you that Elliot Ramos is the guy that you can't bring up. You can't even see it. That tells me you shouldn't be running a baseball club. You're a circus. You're a circus show, Farhan. Come on. Tell me that you can't see with a naked eye that Ramos was a guy that did it last year in AAA. And yeah, Johnny T. They benched Luciano when he was hitting nearly 400 with 1,000 OPS. That should tell you how stupid this management is. These guys have their heads up. They're so far up their rear end. It isn't even funny, man. Farhan, I mean,
they saw what they can do. It's the politics of the Giants organization, and
Los,
they're not their guys. So it doesn't matter.
Not just
so
that.
he has to do it at the highest level, which he is now. But what happens if he goes 0 for 12?
Yeah.
Would they even dare send him down if he gets cold? Would they?
Why not put the best 9 guys on the field? You know what?
That's how it's always been.
This is what pisses me off, because they go with options. If guys have options, that means more than talent on the field. This
isn't the stock market. We're talking about options here. This is baseball. Yeah. This is why we get angry.
Right now, if I'm running this club, here's what I'm doing. My outfield consists of Matos in left. Who did I have? Conforto's struggling. I'm still going to go with Conforto. Okay, let's leave Conforto alone in left field for now. It looks like Ramos seems a little better than Matos in center field. You can flip either one. They're both play pretty decent center field. One in center, one in right. Matos, come on, let's get back to Whitfield and Herndon and getting Sard and Gary Matthews. Let's get back to the homegrown guys, and then all right, around the infield. Let's go with
hold on before you go to the infield. Think about this, Dan. If the Giants actually taught Luciano how to play outfield, they could have all 3 of our boys in the outfield. It'd be like the 60s with the Alou brothers. You could have Luciano in left, Matos in center, and Ramos in right. Oh,
why not? Ooh, why not? Let's
3 athletic guys that can hit.
Yeah, because right now I'm going with Luciano as my DH, but I like it next year. Yeah, you know what?
Exciting.
Get me Luciano. And it's too bad Jung Hoo Lee can't play shortstop.
I know.
But I'm a little worried about Jung Hoo Lee for next year, to be honest.
Shoulder injuries are nothing to.
Second one, Los. Number 2 surgery on your left shoulder, which is as a left-handed batter. I mean, if you had right shoulder surgery, take a swing. You're right-handed. Isn't your right shoulder the one that's going to take?
Is driving the ball. Your right shoulder is, if you're a right-handed hitter, is driving your bat speed.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh.
and he didn't have a ton of bat speed to begin with, and wasn't generating a lot of power. So, modern medicine better come through big time, or he may be finished before he even got started, but hopefully not.
Yeah.
One would be a little okay. You can get through that, but two of them,
yeah. But I'm trying to think of the best option that the Giants could put out on the field. I mean, right now it looks like Wisely should be in there, maybe at second base instead of Estrada. I mean, he's hitting the ball. Estrada's just struggling like crazy. Thairo Estrada is hitting right now on the season 235. Him and Chapman 233 and 235. Chapman 233, Estrada 235. I guess you got to still leave Estrada in there, but I'm not a med guy, even though he got 2 hits. Okay, there's no way this guy hits over 235. There's just no way. He's hitting 246 right now. He's a punch and Judy guy. He looks awful at the plate on most of his swings, and then he gets a I think these pitchers let up and go, oh, this guy's easy. Let me just throw one right over the plate, and he hits it. It's like, oh, I don't need to throw my best. I'll save my best stuff for when I really need it. And they throw him a pitch, and he hits it. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I don't even think he's that dynamic of a shortstop. Yeah, he fields the ball, but his arm is so weak, Los. If you saw the throws tonight, I know it's on Apple TV and you weren't able to get Apple TV and had to listen to it. But I mean, dang, his arm strength, it's not a straight. He had one good throw tonight. He got a ball and up the middle, turned and threw a dime. It was right on target. It wasn't a bullet, but it was on target. So,
I see these Angels uniforms back in the ballpark, and I can't help but flash back to 2002. Oh, yeah. I can't help but flash back to that World Series in Game 6. That, for as far as like my history of watching sports, probably right up there with Warriors Game 7 loss against Cleveland, one of the Niners Super Bowls, big one. But that Game 6 still, man.
Oh, that haunts, man. It's hard for me to wear this. It's hard for me to put this hat on after that 0-2. I'm just keeping with the NorCal sports tradition where I wear the winning hat because we promote winners here. And every now and then, 48% of the time, we get to put a Giants hat on.
About 48% of the time. Since the Giants are so analytics, we calculated that Dan wears a Giants hat 47 to 48. Now 47.8 to be precise.
Yeah, what is their winning percentage right now? It is
34 and 36.
48.6 actually. 48.6. So so about 48% of the time you'll see me in a Giants hat. Would be nice to see me wearing a Giants hat about 55% of the time. Maybe for the Giants to really take off closer to 60% of the time.
Who's the first player, if you were to play word association or name association and you weren't looking at a computer and somebody said to you the California Angels, who's the first player that pops in your mind?
Nolan Ryan.
For me, it was Rod Carew.
I was going to say Rod. Actually, you know what? Rod Carew did kind of pop into my mind first.
Yeah.
And
they're both.
But I think of him as a twin a lot. It's funny. I went to take you back. I was a little kid, 1970-ish, about 8 years old. I went to an Anaheim Stadium.
Oh yeah, I went to that.
My dad's good friend
went to the Big A.
my dad's really good friend lived in Orange. Okay. We were real close to Anaheim Stadium. It was the year that there was a guy, Google this guy, Clyde Wright, I think his name was. Clyde Wright. I think I saw him pitch. I think he was an 18-year-old. If I'm not mistaken, his name was Clyde Wright. Let me look it up. Clyde Wright, American former baseball player. Yeah, he's 83 years old today. Let me look up his.
Reggie Jackson had a short stint with the Angels too towards the end of his career. Put up some good numbers. Bobby Grich, the great Bobby Grich. Wally Joyner. Wally Joyner was, I mean, he was a notch below Wolf's mark, but Wally could hit, man. Left-hand hitter, consistent. I would love to guess what his lifetime batting average would be. I'm going to guess without looking it up and say he's about 285, 291 hitter. Hit the ball to all fields, had a little bit of power. Didn't have personality and charisma.
Hold on here. Let me look here.
Yeah.
Clyde Wright.
Sad too, the 86 Angels. That was the year that Johnny Moore gave up that lead homer. How did we give that up to the guy that played for the East? Lost a playoff series and was so depressed about it he killed himself a year or two later. Dying closer. For those that don't know that baseball history lesson, that is a fact. A closer gave up the inning run against the Red Sox. That was the guy that hit it. I can picture his face. Help me out, chat. And he never got over it. He took his life a couple years later.
Dang.
Pretty sad.
I'm looking up Clyde Wright. Let me see. I think it is Clyde Wright. He pitched with the Angels his first year. Maybe it wasn't Clyde Wright. Maybe it was somebody else. Dang. It says he pitched in 66 as a 25-year-old. I know there was some 18-year-old that pitched for the Angels. 18, 19, 20, something like that. He came up, but maybe it wasn't Clyde Wright. Maybe it was somebody else.
Are we okay, guys, now? We had a little – you were kind of going in and out. I was going in and out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's okay now. Can everybody hear us all right?
Yeah.
Oh, my internet's showing strong, so I don't know. Momentary technical difficulties.
Yeah.
But no, Clyde Wright does not ring a bell whatsoever. No, man, I do not have dial-up internet. You guys are funny.
Interesting.
Yes, somebody asked earlier, am I heading to Chicago? Yes, I'm heading to Chicago Monday with three of the boys in the chat and Cliff, Will, Aaron. And I'm trying to get out of the heat of Arizona, and it's going to be damn 94 degrees when I land in Chicago. 74 today, and it's going to be 94 degrees and muggy when we get there. Oh, well, whatever. It is what it is. Can't wait. Can't wait to experience Wrigley for the first time. Check that one off the list.
Yes.
I've done Fenway. I've done Yankee Stadium. I've done Dodger Stadium. I've done Petco. I've done Arizona, obviously. What else? Yeah, those are the big ones. So Wrigley, Pittsburgh is kind of on the list because it looks like a beautiful stadium, but I don't know. Pirates fly all the way to the East Coast. I don't know. Probably not. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Wrigley. That should be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
the Coliseum. Yeah, I've been to the Coliseum, Johnny, more than a few times.
So, yeah, it's.
Did you find him, Clyde Wright?
Yeah, it wasn't the right guy. Maybe it was David Clyde. That's got to be it. David Clyde. Let me look that guy up. David Clyde. Yeah, 73 to 79. So I must have been about 11. He was 18. That was it. It was 1973. 18-year-old. I saw him pitch his first game. Pretty cool.
Fossey, why can't I?
Or at least it's his first game at Anaheim. I'm not sure if it was his first game, but I was 10 and a half, I guess, because he pitched David Clyde. He was supposed to be an 18-year-old. Imagine an 18-year-old pitching in the big leagues.
Damn.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that we talk a lot about Farhan, obviously, on this show about his. He didn't have a resume really to be in the position that he is, about judging talent. That is the main thing you need to be able to do as a general manager. We lost in the sports world this week one of the absolute greatest evaluators of talent ever in Jerry West.
Oh, unbelievable.
There are very few people in any sport that could see a guy and within 30 minutes to an hour say he has it or he doesn't.
Yep.
And he's an ex-player.
He could run. He could do better than Farhan evaluating talent in the baseball field.
Yeah, he could.
Absolutely.
And he wasn't even a baseball player. But that kind of leads me a little bit to where I'm going with this is like, don't you want your head of baseball operations or your GM or whatever your title is? I mean, it doesn't have to be an ex-player, but if you're going to continuously be drafting and signing free agents and knowing who's going to be best for your team, don't you have to have an understanding of the game? I mean, you didn't necessarily have to play it, but just the fact that, he just comes across as this computer geek nerd and he puts in this data and just thinks that that's going to work. And it's not. And then, so he doesn't know what he's talking about as far as baseball because he didn't play it. And he certainly maybe didn't understand it growing up. Maybe he just got into the game 8 to 10 years ago. So then you would think, I'm going to surround myself with people that are baseball knowledge. Well, he didn't do that too because he fired 8 scouts right off the bat. So he didn't know the game. And the people that did know the game, he fired. So we're here 7 years later wondering why it's not working and why he continues to struggle to evaluate talent. I mean, there it is, guys. I mean, one story I love about Jerry West is, and we always talk about this on this show, the veterans versus the young guys, right? Vets versus young guys. Vets are established. They've done it before. Jerry West had a very good center named Vlade Divac, very good center. And he traded him, an established, very good center, for a 17-year-old kid that had not proven anything.
Oh, Kobe?
Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
Saw him one time in a workout. One time.
Yeah.
Came to LA. Arn Tellem was his agent.
Yeah.
Kobe wanted to set that up. Worked out for Jerry West. Jerry West saw him for an hour in the gym, working out, moves. And just like that said, you know what? I'm going to take a risk. I'm trading my established top 5 center at the time. Vlade Divac could play. Make no mistake about it. He could play. They traded him to the Hornets. That kid was 17 years old.
Wasn't Bryant like the 13th pick or something like that?
Yeah, middle of the draft, like 13th, 14th. So he took a chance on a young kid that had not established anything over a very proven seasoned veteran. And those are the kind of moves Jerry West would make. He, of course, he made the big splash with signing Shaq. That wasn't a hard one to do. But, we always talk about Farhan, how he loves the veterans. And a lot of you in this chat love the veterans too, because they're established. A lot of you sometimes say, well, they go with the young kids that are throwing away the season. Man, example after example in sports where young guys help you win championships. Talent is talent. 21, 25, 31, 36. Talent is talent. But when you're 32 or 33, typically your best years are behind you. So, this is why we're so consistent with, we don't know if Matos is going to be an all-star. We don't know if Ramos is going to be an all-star, though he's getting there. We don't know if Luciano is going to be an all-star. But we sure as hell can tell you Slater and Yaz are not going to be no all-stars. So you have a maybe versus a hell no as far as all-star talent. Wouldn't you roll with the maybe? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Floor is yours.
No, I love Jerry West, man. He was the greatest talent evaluator, executive. I mean, won titles everywhere he went. Didn't get one done with the Clippers, but had he had a little bit more time, I think he could have. But he was unbelievable. And
threatened to quit his position if they traded Klay Thompson.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. They were trying to trade him for who was that? Kevin Love, maybe, I think it was.
Yeah, it was straight up for Kevin Love. And Milwaukee had a choice of taking Curry or Monte Ellis. Think about that. Think about the history of the Warriors. The Warriors said, we want Andrew Bogut. Take your pick, Curry or Monte Ellis. Okay? There's my other young guy over a vet. Monte Ellis was proven 18 to 22 point a game scorer at that time. Curry at that time was a young guy with ankle problems. They chose the veteran. They didn't choose the young guy. Thank you very much, Milwaukee. We'll keep Curry and his upside and 4 championships later. So you keep riding with veterans and you keep riding with people that have their best years behind them. All you want. The Robert Roberts, no disrespect, the Giovannis, you know who you are. There's a few of you other guys in here that just keep wanting to ride the bets because you know what you have with them. Yeah, I know what you have with them too. Mediocrity. If you want to settle for mediocrity, then you're going to be at 500 all year.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to come on this show. Sometimes you're going to talk shit because you won. A lot of times we're going to talk shit because you lost.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to be. Back and forth.
Let's get to this super chat by Shake and Bake 0023. I bet you that 0023 is that Draymond Green. Michael, is that MJ? 00. Who could that be? Could that be
Jason Richardson?
Jason Richardson. If he's really, really old, it could be Jim Otto from the Raiders. I don't know, but it stands for something. I guarantee you it's a couple of ball players. He says, trade Solair, hands down our worst offseason signing, needs a good lineup to thrive. Yeah, he does need a good lineup to thrive. I was happy about the Solair signing. I can't lie. I thought we were stoked when we found out they signed him, but he's just been bad. And it's because there is no protection in this lineup. Where's the protection? It's Ramos. Why don't you put Solaire right in front of Ramos?
That's not a bad idea. I mean, the way Ramos is swinging the bat, Solaire will get some protection and he might see some better pitches to hit.
Yeah.
Problem with Solaire is he just refuses to take walks. They're not going to throw him anything middle in. It's all going to be away. So if you're incapable of going the opposite field, I can't believe people have not done this to Solaire. That's kind of how he's been his whole life. But I guarantee you, if Solaire was traded to Atlanta, who needs a bat with Acuna out, I guarantee you Solaire will start hitting. He'll just feel energized because he's, around a winning organization and around a winning coaching staff and around a winning front office. And the ballpark's a little bit easier to hit and it's warmer. The Hispanic players typically like the warmer weather. They don't like the cold.
Right.
So I bet Solaire, if he were moved, and Giants fans would be pissed because he'll start hitting somewhere else. So I don't see Solaire getting out of it anytime soon. I think this is what we have all year with him. Maybe he'll bump his average up to 220, 230, but boy, what's his batting average with men in scoring position? It's got to be in the 140s, 150s. It's pretty bad. Oh, and the bullpen got wiped out again today.
Yep.
More innings for the bullpen, which we've been saying is they're going to run out of gas around late July, early August, the way they're going right now. So it's fool's gold, man.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Who's pitching well is John Jelly. I haven't seen him have really a bad outing for over like 6 weeks, maybe. I don't know. It seems like it. He's really looking
He made
good.
an adjustment.
How about the Giants? They come back. They get an 8-6 lead. I mean, 8-6. They close it to 8-6. Listen to this, Los. They close it to 8-6 after Ramos hits a 3-run homer. Bailey comes up. All right. All this with 1 out. And the momentum is the crowd's getting into it. Bailey lays down a perfect bunt and gets on. Base hit. Chapman comes up and hits into a double play to kill the rally. I mean, come on. This guy is let me give you another word, guys, how bad this team is. They are one of only a couple teams in all of it, Major League Baseball, not to have 2 guys with 30 RBIs on the season. And Matt Chapman is one of the guys under 30. The only guy with 30-plus RBIs on the Giants this year is hold on, I'll have to look it up. I can't remember who it was. It might be Estrada. Let me go look at the stats on the Giants. Stats, batting, RBIs. Estrada leading the team with 33. Do you guys know Luis Matos had 20 in like a few weeks?
How soon they forget.
I mean,
soon they forget.
Listen to this RBIs. Okay. Estrada 33, Chapman 29, Ramos and Yaz 27 each. I'm not sure if those are from tonight up to date with Ramos's. Yeah, he's got his 7th home run tonight, so 27 RBIs. So Ramos, when did Ramos get the call up? May?
Yeah, around
missed all of
May.
April, missed basically 30 games. Ramos 27, Yaz 27, Bailey 22, Conforto 22, Flores 22, Matos 20. Matos has more RBIs than Jorge Soler. Put the guys up there that can drive in the runs, Ramos and Matos. But if it weren't for the injuries, they'd both still be sitting in AAA. Guarantee it.
And nobody would challenge him on that. Nobody.
No, just NorCal Sports Network, not the Pavloviches of the world that think Slater's unbelievable, think they love Yaz. I mean, these guys, Yaz, I'm telling you what Yaz is good for. Exactly what he did tonight. Bring him up in a key situation where you need some pop, late innings, good pinch hitter. I mean, how many times have we seen Yaz come up and do something late? You know, he did a home run off of Josh Hader to win a game last year.
A small sample size of Yaz would be good for the club.
Yes.
You know, spot start him here and there, play him defensively because he's got a fantastic glove. We'll never take that away from him. And then in spots late in games, pinch hit him against, maybe a tough righty, and he could be an effective player. But Yaz is kind of like sitting at the tables at the casino. The longer you play, the more you're going to lose. If he gets more and more at bats, he's going to struggle. It's just a numbers thing because he's not a very good hitter. But if you spot play him and you use him as a defensive replacement, like a med, that's their roles on the team. That's where they could be effective on the team. But management doesn't see it that way. They see guys that are part-timers as full-time players. And until they recognize that and get out of their stubbornness and get out of their own way, then this is what we're going to have all the time. They're part-time. They're not horrible players. They're just part-timers. They're spot players. Let the guys with upside and let the guys that physically pass the eye test and have more talent. Just you don't even have to know baseball that much, and you can just see Matos and Ramos and Luciano hit, and you could just see. I mean, if all of us were to go to a game and we were to go to batting practice, an hour and a half before the game, and watch those three guys hit, and watch Slater and Yaz hit, there's a difference on how the bat comes off the ball. The sound will be different,
right?
And Dan understands what because we've gone on and seen batting practice many times before. You just kind of know the sound just comes off the bat difference, especially Luciano. Luciano has incredible bat speed, and so does Matos. That's Will Clark. Do you trust Will Clark, or do you trust Farhan about evaluating players?
Exactly.
Will Clark says Matos is one of the most talented players in the organization. I think Will Clark knows a little thing about hitting. So probably he will not be getting a job anytime soon, because Will Clark would tell Farhan to go to where. Straight up. He would.
Exactly.
So that's why he's an advisor. He couldn't be around the team all the time. He's not going to be like Posey and stay quiet. Will Clark would say something like, what are you guys doing here? If you ever want to see entertainment, go check out Will Clark and Eric Burns on No Filter Network. Oh my God, Unfiltered. It is hilarious. And he is employed by the Giants. He's still not scared to talk against them, and he does. Tells it like it is, just like we do.
Right. Exactly. Yep, exactly. So, hold on, I made a mistake here typing something. One sec. So Robert Rothberg has been saying positive things in the chat.
No
continually, always believing in this team. Wait till Snell, Ray, and Cobb returns. Okay.
Snell's already been here.
Yeah.
Cobb is not coming back anytime soon. And if he does, he's not going to be very effective with a bad hip. When you have hip problems, he's going to lose velocity. A lot of the things that made Cobb successful before he got hurt was, what's he throw? He throws a 94, 96 mile an hour power sinker.
Right.
His hip is that's going to be down to like 88, 89 miles an hour on power sinker.
I hope not, man. If it's that bad, wow.
He's going to get hit, man. Robert, I hate to tell you. I mean, I may be wrong, but a pitcher, you lose your hips with a pitcher, and you're not the same. I wouldn't count on Cobb for anything. Snell, we'll see. He's a second half pitcher, but is it going to be enough? How much can Snell make a difference? He pitches once every 5 games. An everyday hitter makes more of a difference maker when you got a guy that's in the lineup producing all the time.
Right.
So, Jordan Hicks is quickly getting close to that pitch count that, he's never gone past, and it's coming up probably in about another 4 starts. He's going to be there. So what's going to happen with him?
Oh yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's just so many question marks on the Giants, and you don't want that at this time of the year. You should know what kind of a team you have by the middle of June, which is where we're at. And we know what kind of a team they have. I mean, if you can't see it already, then you're fooling yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Dan called it perfectly. I don't think they're ever going to win more than 6 games a year, and they probably won't lose more than 6 games a year. It's always going to be, if you look at that last 10 that they always show, last 10, they're always going to be 3-7, 6-4, 5-5, 3-7, 7-3, 5-5. The only way they're going to do anything is if they completely commit to the kids, completely commit to them. I mean, I mentioned the story about Jerry West earlier taking Kobe Bryant over Vlade Divac. Not only did he take Kobe Bryant, he traded an all-star guard named Eddie Jones. Why did he trade Eddie Jones, who was an all-star number 2 guard, to make room for Kobe Bryant? He had to play. So when we're here talking about, well, how are we going to get Matos out? Matos will never be up here and playing as long as Slater is on the team. You know, he could be hurt for a week or two, but he'll always come back and he'll always bump him off. It doesn't matter how well Matos plays. Do you really think Matos would have still stayed up if he didn't go cold? Do you really think that? No.
No, I don't.
He would have still went down.
Yeah, where were they going to do with Slater?
That was the easy excuse that the Giants said. Oh, we can just say that Matos was struggling and we're going to send him down. If he continued to hit and he was not quite player of the week, but he was still driving in runs and doing that, do you really think the Giants would bring up Slater and just sit him on the bench and not play? They had to move somebody down. It was going to be Ramos. It was going to be Matos. You know, they do not believe in those guys. You know, they're keeping Ramos up because he's just good. He's just too good, too consistently right now. So there's no way they're going to touch him. But let's see Ramos get into a slump. He hasn't slumped yet. I want to see him go. Like, I don't want to see him because I'm cheering for him. There's certain guys on the Giants I completely root for. So I don't want to see him struggle. But should he go in a 1 for 14 spell, what would happen? What would you do, Giants fan? What would you do out there in the chat if they sent him down after a 1 for 14? Curious. Would you guys that love veterans say that it's justifiable after he's been good for like 6 straight weeks and he has 1 bad week? There's different rules for different players on this team, guys. There's different rules for different players. And it's a big hypocrisy. Big hypocrisy.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. You make a great point about that, Los, with Matos. Even if he stayed hot, what were they going to do? Were they going to send Ramos or Matos down? One of them was going down. One of them, Farhan, and you know it, Farhan. You know it. All you front office people of the Giants were going to send either Ramos or Matos down. You were just hoping one of them would cool off because you didn't want the controversy. In fact, you brought up, Farhan, you brought up Matos. You brought up Matos opening weekend, 4-game set in San Diego. Yaz starts opening day. Check it out. Opening day lineup. Let me go back to it. Let me see if I can.
While you're looking at that, let me respond to Bub Rad. Bub Rad, you're talking about Kobe was a top 10 player ever. Yeah, I know that. But you're missing the point. At the time that Jerry West made that trade, he wasn't a 10-time All-Star. He wasn't one of the best players all time. He was a 17-year-old kid that had a good workout. He wasn't Kobe Bryant yet. He was an unknown. Vlade Divac was a known center. He was a known talent. He wasn't an average center. He was a very good center. So you're missing the point. He took a risk on a kid. All I keep hearing well, not everybody in this chat, but on social media, I keep hearing it over and over. And it, quite frankly, pisses me off. The young kids means that you're waving a white flag. They're not proven. Who gives a shit? How are you going to be proven if you're not given a chance in life? Forget about sports. How do you know? We know that Slater and Yaz are basically. So you're missing the point, dude. Kobe Bryant, yes, one of the greatest players of all time. At the time that the move was made, Kobe Bryant was not an all-star. He was not a superstar. He was a 17-year-old kid that just got out of high school, and he took, I think it was Monica, one of the singers. He just took her to the prom like a couple months ago. That's who Jerry West traded for. So that's my point. He took a risk on a young kid. He saw talent, workout, and he took a risk. And we will never see that, as far as we're concerned, from far on. He will not take risk on young guys, even when they're right in front of him. I don't know if he's at spring training or not. I don't think he is. Me and Dan go to a lot of spring training games. Have you ever seen Florida? I think you've seen him a couple of times. I haven't. I don't see him unless he's up in the skybox or something in Sweden looking down. But I don't ever see him on the field talking with the players or talking with Melvin or discussing. It's not his eyes. What's he doing? He's relying on other people saying things, or he's relying on his statistical data. You got to look at it with your eyes, see it for yourself. So he's never going to do that make that kind of a risk, a young guy. So we're all thinking, oh, maybe if the Giants get out of it, they're going to trade some of their veterans for a young prospect. Farhan won't do that. We want him to, but he won't. And even if he wanted to, can he evaluate who that young talent is going to be? Nah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. People are saying your internet's buffering a little bit too much tonight. I don't know.
My internet's been fine for a long time.
You get on the show, it's weird. I wonder if maybe you should just try and sign back out, come right back in, see if that does anything.
I could.
Yeah, do it real quick. Just come right back in and then see if it gets a better connection. Might be Los will be right back. Yeah, it's been cutting in and out. Hopefully it's not a bad link. I don't know. Maybe sometimes these links could do that. But you guys think about that. Ramos and Matos. One of them was going down. And Los is back here, I believe. There he is. Let's see. Is that any better?
Hopefully that's better. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's kind of been up and down. But damn, I made some really good points tonight. Tonight's not the night for my internet to be messed up.
I know you have. You're very solid. Very solid. So, yeah. Go ahead and take over. I'm going to stop my cam for a sec. I got to do something real quick. Go ahead.
Red Jet, I see you're a happy Father's Day to everybody. Appreciate that, since I believe you are the only female in the chat. Much appreciated. Much love. I probably won't be on tomorrow or today. So, of course, I'm off to Chicago on Monday. So give me the opportunity to all the fathers out there. Hope you have a great Father's Day weekend. I hope you're spoiled. Men are parents too. I have a long thought process about fathers and parenthood and how we're a little bit put to the side, shall we say. So we deserve that love just as much. So for all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. We do what we do. We're the protectors of our family. And we deserve those kudos as well. So hope you guys all have a great one. But as far as the Giants
absolutely
goes,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We can have a whole segment on that. Boy, I have a lot of opinions about how dads and moms are looked at. Let's just say Mother's Day is looked at quite a bit differently commercially than Father's Day. Just for kids, I want to see in the chat, what is the best gift you've gotten as a father? I want to hear it. Don't say a tie either. Somebody write, what's the best gift you've gotten in all the years that you've been a father? Not that Father's Days are about gifts. I'm not. This is a half joking for me, but I'm just kind of curious. What is the best gift that anybody wants to talk about? I'd be curious to hear. Really, Fosse, you think Boston fans were the worst? I went to Fenway. I enjoyed my trip to Fenway. The East Coast was a whole different vibe than the West Coast or the Southwest. They watch the games. They're not tripping on their phone. They're definitely not taking selfies of each other at the game. They are into it, all on the edge of their seat. I saw a lot of people keeping book. Just old school, just good baseball fans, for sure. Yankee Stadium, same way. And I'm sure Wrigley's going to be that midway. So you know what? Actually, I would like to go to St. Louis. St. Louis is a great baseball town. I like to go to the Arch. I heard that's a nice stadium too. So that's interesting. I remember when I went to Fenway, like I was with a good friend of mine, and we instantly just struck a conversation with people in our section. And boy, let me tell you, the females out there knew their baseball just as good as the men. That was impressive. And they were not ugly either. They were good looking and they knew their baseball. So yeah, the East Coast, they definitely would not be on board with what Farhan has done in his 6 years here. There would be a lot more pressure on him to succeed, and they would not be down with a lot of the things that he's done so far. If the East Coast fans, if the Red Sox fans or Yankee fans saw a young talent that they really loved and he played well, and then he got into a little slump and their general manager sent him down, those radio shows would be crazy. There would be signs in the stadium saying "Fire Farhan, Fire Farhan." Have you ever seen that at a Giants game? I don't. They probably would confiscate it the second that they saw it there. Dodger fans are pretty bad, man. It's not a cult. Yeah, I got into a couple run-in with Dodger fans, and I wasn't even talking. I just had my Giants gear on, and yeah, there's a real thug mentality at Dodger games for sure. For sure. Oh, nice, MF. Hunter Bishop's coming, man. All the highlights I've seen from him, he's got a very nice approach. He's got a nice natural swing. He's hit a couple of bombs to left field, some to right field. Bishop, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's going to come up this year, but he is a Farhan draft pick. So again, talking about the politics that I talk about in baseball, Ramos is not a Farhan guy, and neither is Matos, but Bishop is. So wouldn't it be funny if Bishop got a call up later this year, if maybe injuries happen, maybe some guys are let go or traded. I doubt it, but who knows? And maybe Bishop is given a trial run. Bishop given a trial run and he does well. Who knows? We just don't know, man. And I think that's one of the frustrating thing about being a Giants fan right now is you'd like to know. You would like to know, okay, these are going to be our core guys for next year. You know, you can pencil in this guy for third base, for shortstop, for first base, 2 of the outfield spots, a catcher, and 3 starters. But really, do we? Looking into 25 or looking towards 25, do we really know who's going to be our set players, our core? Bailey at catcher. At first base, we don't know. Wade, maybe. Wade's nice, but he's not a power hitter. You kind of need power from first base. Second base, I mean, Estrada's nice too, but the Giants have too many nice players. They don't have any, like, difference makers. Shortstop, we don't know. Third base, probably Chapman. Left field, we don't know. Conforto may leave. He may opt out. Center field, we don't know. We don't know if Lee's coming back from that injury. Shoulder injuries, 2 of them might mess him up. Maybe Ramos continues to play well, and maybe he's the guy. We don't know. Right field, we don't know. Starting pitching, Logan Webb. Is Hicks going to be a starter again next year after experiencing and pitching as many innings as he did this year? Is Kyle Harrison going to continue to progress? I hope so. Is Snell going to opt out? Is he going to come back? We don't know. There's too many we don't knows about the Giants. I mean, growing up as a Giants fan, you kind of knew year after year who was going to be where. And that was going to be your team. And the offseason was going to be a few additions here and a few guys leaving there. But you kind of knew who your core team is going to be. And that's just not the case with these guys right now. It is not the case. It is How many lineups have the Giants had this year? How many different lineups did they have? Did I read something correctly where Tyro Estrada has hit, and I've never heard of this in all the years I've followed baseball. I've never heard of a guy being in every different spot in the lineup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's crazy. That is crazy. And I've seen a few comments in the chat saying, Melvin, what is Melvin doing with this lineup? Melvin's not calling the lineup. I said that from day one at the beginning of the year. This is Farhan's lineup. He is the general manager, vice president of baseball operations, and he's basically the manager. Maybe he doesn't do in-game strategy, but he sure as hell has his pulse when it comes to the lineup. And that's not right. That should be the manager. That should be the manager, straight up. But Giants are run a little bit differently from other organizations, and it's not going to change, I don't think. Danny, you still there?
I am. I'm here.
Okay. You're all right? Is this light bothering you or anything?
No, I'm just having a battle with these guys in fantasy.
Okay.
So it's collusion. They won't trade with me. The top guys won't trade with me. I've been at the bottom, won't trade with me. I make trades to make myself better, hopefully. And now they want to reject trades because the guys at the top, almighty at the top, can make their trades, but we can't make our trades at the bottom. So that's all. That's all.
You know. I don't have the capability to strike up a poll. That's Dan and Eric do that. But let me just ask this question. Very simple question. It's not multiple choice. It's not 4 answers. It's 2 answers. Either keep them or get rid of them, whether it's trade or cut, whatever. Where are you guys on Marco Luciano? I'm not talking about what position he's going to play. Do you want him on the Giants next year, or are you done with him as a prospect? Simple question. Keep him or get rid of him? Marco Luciano. Let me kind of see what the vibe is. So we got keep, we got play Luciano, DH, Haruku, Michelle, aka Red Jet. Hello, Michelle. Keep, DH. So I have 6 keeps. Right on. That's where I'm at. Grand Admiral, keep. LZ, first one to get rid of him. Trade him. Okay. There's no right or wrong answers here. Keep. It's way too early. Keep. 9-1. I'm good in math, guys. I'm a mortgage guy, so I can count it real fast. Oh, of course. You know I got you, Michelle. You know I got you. Alive. 12-1. Jesus wants him at shortstop. Okay. Even though you've seen what you've seen, I kind of agree. We live in a society right now where everything is magnified. I mean, we come on this show every night, every day after a game. I mean, talk about it. 95.7 talks about games every day. So, every game is magnified. It's not football where you play play a game and you talk about it all week and you don't play another game until the following week. Baseball's every day. And Luciano really had a rough stretch defensively. And they were in late games. I said this before. If he had muffed a couple of grounders in the first, second inning and no runs kind of came up it, everybody would be like, he's just got the willies, he'll be all right. But they were late game. So, you get the whole, I don't like the word. I hate the word choke, but that's what the choke and hater, 2 words I don't like very much. So he got that label of muffing a couple of grounders and having a couple of defensive errors in crucial moments. And he had a really hard time overcoming that. Because as soon as I think the 3rd error, he was benched for 4 games, I believe. And I think that crushed his confidence. I just personally think when you have a young guy, this is a guy that's that's going to be part of your future. And if you knock him down and you take away his confidence is everything in sports. It is, especially at that high of a level. I mean, even in high school, whatever level of sports that you played, when you don't have confidence, you're going to struggle. Period. End of story. So at that highest of a level, when your manager, when your organization, basically tells you, okay, you're struggling, we're going to sit you down. If it's one game, that's fine, because even superstars can get into slumps during a year and need to sit and take a mental break for a game, maybe 2 at the most. You sit a guy 4 straight games, that's a very strong message. You messed up. We don't believe in you. We're not going to DH you, even though you're hitting close to 400. We really have not believed in you as a player since I came to the organization. I'm talking like I'm 400. So you gave me all the proof that I need to not play you. So I'm going to answer my own question. I would like Luciano to stay because I think he could be.
I love Luciano Lowe's.
I think he could be a very good hitter in this league. I mean, a very good hitter.
Yes.
And you got, bats. We talk about this a lot. Hitting is horrible. Right? Do you know, I looked this up today. There are 11 guys in baseball right now that are hitting 300. 11. That's it. And we're in June. So I started looking up past years. I went back to, I think it went back 20 years. So I went back to 2004, 2005, 2006. Pretty much every year up until like 5 or 6 years ago, there was between 30, and this was end of the year stats, end of the year, not middle of the year where we're at now. There was between 35 and 40 guys that hit 300 at that time. So Luciano is a guy that is a rare commodity in today's baseball. He can hit for average. He can get on base. And he may not have shown it because I think he's trying to hit more for average, but he can hit for power too. If he gets a hold of one, he can hit it a long way. He's only 22, still kind of growing, still kind of learning. He offers the Giants something that there's just, quite frankly, not a lot of good hitters in baseball right now. Not a lot of good young hitters. So we have something here in him that not a lot of organizations have, but they're not going to allow him to flourish because he doesn't really have a position, because we've heard for 5 or 6 years that he can't play shortstop. And it obviously kind of showed itself. So what's he doing in second base right now in the minors? He's trying out another position. Now, if you can't field grounders, then it doesn't matter if you're at first, second, short, or third. A grounder ball's coming your way, you better be able to pick it. So we'll see how second base works out. I think he's an outfielder. I think at the least he could be DHing. This is pretty stubborn to keep continuing to bat Solair. Okay, we're not talking about a bad week. We're talking about a bad 2.5 to 3 months now. But again, I just said it an hour ago. There's different rules for different players on this team. If you have a big contract, you can just keep failing and failing and failing and failing, and you'll keep playing and you'll keep playing and you'll keep playing, because it's not what's best for the team. It's, we gave this guy money, we have to play him. It's not really good for the team. It's not really good for winning, but we have to play him. I just saw a few examples of guys that just got released. Garcia, Alexander Garcia, just got released by the Marlins. Guys, the Marlins, they're one of the poorest teams in baseball, and they ate $24 million on his contract. $24 million, 2 years, $12 million each. They ate it. They said, you suck. Get out of here. Jose Abreu just released today by the Astros. He's a veteran, a guy that's done it in the past, right? Hitting 125. We're in June. Thanks, buddy, but no thanks. You're not helping our team. We're going to eat your money and your contract. You're gone. Giants won't do that with Slater. Giants won't do that with Slater. He had his nice little 3-hit game the other day.
Yeah,
them up.
exactly.
What are we doing, Giants fans, that are celebrating, popping champagne cork bottles for a guy that just got over 200. Is that where we're at right now? We're excited over a guy that is now hitting over 200. Oh my God. We've come a long way down from World Series in 10, 12, and 14. A long way down. But my point is we have two organizations. One is the Marlins, who don't have 1/30th of the money that the Giants do, and they ate a contract of a player. They ate $24 million. That's not a little amount of money. That's a big chunk of change right there. They ate it because you're just not good. Now we'll see what happens with Slater. I'm not a big fan of him, but if he plays well, I'll give him props and I'll give him kudos. But we'll see. We'll see where he's hitting in another month from now. We'll see if he gets hurt again. And we'll see if he's still on the team in August or September. Or will they eat his $4 million salary and do what's best for the team? Because at the end of the day, that's what you're supposed to do as GM or president of baseball operations. You're supposed to put your best 25 guys on the roster, no matter how much they make, or no matter if you drafted them or not. That's sports. Unfortunately, sports is not sports anymore. It's a business. The agents know it's a business. The players know it's a business. The front office knows it's a business. You know who thinks it's still a game? The fans. Shame on us. We still think it's a game. And it's not. And that's why these things that are happening the way they are happening, because it's a business. If Solair was making minimum wage, do you think he would still be in the lineup? You think he would have got sent down to SAC, even at age, 32, 33? Hey, man, you don't have to be a young guy to go down to SAC. If you're not playing well and you need to get your head straight, hey, give him some tough love. Hey, go ride a bus for a little while, man. Go down for 2 weeks. Maybe you'll get that itch. Maybe you'll get that Rocky III, Eye of the Tiger back again. Maybe you want to get back to flying first class on private jets and having a good lifestyle. Sometimes you need that, but they won't do it. They won't send it down. So, all right, let me read what we got. Let me read. Solair can be traded with these stats. Not Bub. I think he can be traded, man. I really do. I think, again, people will see his people will see his resume and know what he's done in the past. Good baseball men will say Solair is still a good player. He just cannot hit in San Francisco. He doesn't like either the environment, maybe the ballpark spooks him out. I don't know. But Solair, I guarantee you, if he gets traded, will go somewhere and hit. Think about it, Bub. Like how many Cody Ross couldn't hit where did he come from? Was it the Marlins? He couldn't hit for crap. He was DFA'd. Oh my God, he goes to the Giants in a pennant race, and the dude is fucking Joe DiMaggio. He's hitting everything. Hit 2 homers off of Doc Holliday, who was so nasty that year in Philadelphia. Pat Burrell, our brilliant hitting coach, he was DFA'd. He couldn't hit by the Tampa Rays. I think they're called the Devil Rays at the time. He wasn't hitting. He was hitting about 180, 190. He was DFA'd. The Giants picked him up, changed the scenery, changed the culture. Different hitting instructor in his ear. Pat Burrell had a nice year. Helped him win a World Series. So sometimes you change scenery and you can do some things. Solair has a track record of being a good player. He's just having a bad year. I guarantee if he goes somewhere else, he'll play better. What else we got?
Yeah, I think Solair would be fine put him with the Yankees. He'd probably crush the ball. Put him with the Dodgers. You know what I think, Los? Let me come back here.
Yeah.
I do think that certain guys out there that are on the trade market, like possibly, rumors are Luis Robert Jr., I don't see the Giants getting him. I could see the Dodgers getting him. How would that be? I would actually applaud the Dodgers if they went out and got Luis Robert, because they could stick him.
Teoscar Hernandez is a guy that has put up okay stats the last few years.
He's doing very well with the Dodgers.
He's doing really well with the Dodgers. and surrounded again that culture. They're
Who's
winning.
the Dodgers got? They got Andy Pages in center mostly, and sometimes they play somebody else. I know they rotate, but imagine if they got gave away Pages in a deal plus 2 or 3 of their top minor leaguers. They've got like top catcher down in AAA that's blocked with Will Smith. You could move him. You could move Pages. You could move one of their starting pitchers or 2. You could probably give up 4 players for Luis Robert, and they have the guns to do it. I mean, if I'm the Dodgers, why not? I mean, you really think Farhan could go out and get Luis Robert? Yeah, Mark Graves makes a good point. They could trade for Bo Bichette if a outfielder goes down, and they'll just move Mookie out there. I mean, Los, I've said it. Some people, I understand the temptation. I get it. The temptation of going for it when all you got to do is get into the playoffs, and anything can happen in the first round. It's only a 3-game series. My goodness, baseball needs to get their act together, sticking a 6th seed, 3rd place wild card, facing the 3rd division winner. You play 162 games, and you got some team that sneaks in with 83 wins, 84 wins. The one good thing is all the games are at the higher seeds park, the first 3 games. There's none of that BS of, switching, traveling. But here's the thing. I get the temptation because of what the Diamondbacks did last year, and also the Rangers, both wild card teams. But the Rangers were a good team all year long. They had a tough division fight at the end, and Houston won the battle, but they basically tied for the division. But because of head-to-head, Houston got the crown. But you fight, and you say, okay, you think you're a good team because you want to get in to the playoffs for 1 year, and you sacrifice to get in, and you make these trades and give away prospects to get in, and you get knocked out. Now what do you got for next year? In a seller's market where 5 known teams are ready to sell and 25 are still in the hunt for a wild card spot, at bare minimum, there's going to be 23 teams fighting for this at the trade deadline. You're going to tell me that this is not a seller's market when only
that absolutely is.
I mean, think of that when you're trying to find a home, guys, and there's very little inventory. There's nothing to buy because nothing's on the market. Who has the advantage? You as the buyer or the seller? The seller.
All day.
Now, the Giants
that goes back to what you said earlier. Pick a lane. Stop being in the center. Yeah. Go left and go in the fast lane and go all in to try to win a title.
Yeah, if you're going to do
right
that,
and go all young. Yeah, stop being.
If you're going to go all in and you want to get in and you think you can make a run because you're that close, go ahead. Trade Eldridge. Go ahead. Trade Luciano. Trade Matos. Trade all your freaking prospects and go get your Pete Alonsos and go get your Luis Robert and make a run for it this year. And if you don't make it, you tried. But what's more likely is, how about you sell Lamont Wade? How about you sell Camilo Duvall? How about you sell Michael Conforto? How about you sell Tyro Estrada? How about you sell Blake Snell? How about you sell Matt Chapman? How about you sell all these guys and load up with some top quality prospects that you can get? Now, you can get some good prospects for Duvall. You can get a decent prospect, I think, for Conforto. Nothing earth-shattering, but certain guys, when you get up against that deadline and there's teams that are like, oh, man, we can have Matt Chapman, the Yankees. We don't want to give up this guy. Oh, but we can have Matt Chapman. We're so close. We need to go for it. This is our year. we lack third base defense. And you make that deal, you get some guys back, and all of a sudden you've got a bunch of young guys, and you have energy, and then you go ahead and you add players around those guys through trades or free agents when you see what they can do. Mail it in, Fosse. How was this team when Luciano and Matos and Ramos were all in the lineup? They were 8-1, scoring 6-7 runs plus a game.
People don't want to hear the truth.
I mean, why is going with some of the more talented players mailing it in? I don't understand your guys' thinking. You guys actually think Slater and Yaz is more talented than Matos?
They do. They really do. They really do. Because of the back of their card. Because in 2018 and 19 and 20, they were good. So they're bringing that over to 2024.
Yeah, I like what Grand Admiral's thinking. I like the kid Crawford. That is Crawford. What's his? It's big player Crawford's son. Can't remember which Crawford, but anyway, my head's I'm going to have to get off here. My head's starting to rattle.
No worries. Before we get off, can we take a quick timeout on the Giants? I got to ask you this on the air instead of just over the phone, because I know we'll talk about it. Trevor Lawrence, $55 million. Really?
Really? Yeah. You just made Brock Purdy a $55 million quarterback.
The NFL is paying Jared Goff $52 million and Trevor Lawrence $55 million. I'm all for superstar players making their money. When average quarterbacks are making that kind of money, wow, we are getting way out of control. Way out of control. And yeah, it's Trent Baalke again. Trent Baalke seems to raise the bar for most ridiculous contracts ever in paying guys. I don't know how this is going to play out with Purdy and Ayuk, and the price tag is getting so high that it just kind of boggles the mind. I couldn't believe when I saw that. Lawrence to me is very, very overhyped. He's not going to be a winning quarterback. He just is not. But I don't know. I just kind of wanted to get your spin on that.
Yeah, pretty wild. Yeah, this league's getting out of hand. I could see down the road where because college now is developing so many great receivers, because remember years ago, the college used to be all about the running back because they didn't have quarterbacks that would throw. How many, look at 25 years ago, there was very few quarterback teams that threw. They just ran. Now everything's going pro offense. So now what's happening is everybody wants to play receiver. All the talented guys want to play receiver and quarterback. Nobody wants to play running back hardly anymore. So all the money's now going to. So what I see happening in the future is there'll be a overflow of talent in the wide receiver, and they'll just treat wide receivers, the NFL, like running backs. They'll be like, okay, we don't need to pay these guys. We'll just throw them away after 5-6 years, and we'll just keep getting new ones because they're so good coming out of college. These guys are pro. How many receivers did we look at last year that were rookies that were dynamic? And the draft this year, how many dynamic receivers?
That's what I mean. There's tons of them. So is it really a good idea to give 2 wide receivers over $25 million?
No.
When you're a running team?
No. I mean, I heard Dieter Kurtenbach on Larry's show last night, and I've thrown this out, and he threw this out last night. I think you might be better off like drafting quarterbacks every year and trying to find your next Brock Purdy. And when Purdy's contract goes, you have somebody in place to take it. And because it's a hard cap league, why not have all the stars around your quarterback. If you get a $50-60 million quarterback, we see what other teams do. They lose their stars. Can't pay everybody. But imagine if you got a quarterback who's actually competent enough to run Kyle's offense, get the ball out on time. If you draft 2 and bring a free agent in every year, you might find one of those 3 that every year if you were doing that the last 3 years now, say, and you had like 9 of these guys, you might find one of those guys that's ready to stick. And then you stick him in and let Purdy go. Then you're able to keep the stars or just keep reloading with stars. Because once you get rid of your stars in the NFL, we saw the Rams did, and they went down. Now they're coming back up, but they're coming back up with all these young guys.
Yeah. They're a younger team.
Yeah.
It take them long to get back up. Yeah.
I
just wanted to.
I don't want to get rid of Purdy. I'm not saying get rid of Purdy. I love Purdy.
No, I like Purdy a lot, but man, God, it's just.
I'm just saying it's something to think about.
Well, what's crazy is 5 years ago, the Niners made Jimmy Garoppolo the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Why they did that, that was one of the off of 5 games. I would have loved to have been in that negotiation tables and heard what Jimmy and his agent said and how they got over on that is still beyond me. But the reason I bring that up is Jimmy was made the highest paid quarterback in football at the time. I want to say it was 4 years ago or 5 years ago. It was $27 million a year. The highest paid quarterback now is making twice that, $55 million. So if we're going to do math, in another 4 years, the highest paid quarterback's going to double it again. It's going to make $110 million a year.
Right.
In another 4 years, the highest paid quarterback's going to make $220 million a year. When does it end? I mean, not just football, just pro sports in general. Like even the real estate market, which is my industry, it had a few bad years. It didn't go up year after year after year. It had a couple of corrections. Like everybody in here is a sports fan, baseball, basketball, football. The average family just cannot go. Maybe to a baseball game you can, although the Giant Stadium, you're paying a lot for parking. You're paying. I saw a $70 pizza. Somebody took a picture of a concession stand. They sell pizzas for $70 at the Giants games, guys. $70. So when fans say, pay him, go ahead and pay him. Yeah, pay him. It's not my money. You want to bet? It is our money. It is our money. Everything is going up. And yeah, the TV contracts give them a lot of money, but they still need ticket revenue. So, yep, we're paying for it. A Big Mac was one of my favorite burgers since I was a kid. I'm not paying $80 for a Big Mac. Would you pay $50 for a Big Mac?
No way.
Would you pay? You know what it's coming to? The Super Bowl is going to be on pay-per-view pretty soon. At the rate they're going,
yeah,
it's going to be on
man.
pay-per-view.
Hey, I'm going to
anymore. How much can the fans take? You know, I'm usually not a guy that ever talks about somebody else's money, but at the same time, like we're the ones that are fronting the bill for that. It's just going to get more and more expensive for fans to go to games and buy jerseys and do all the things that we've done, you know, for years and years and years. These guys' salaries are just completely, whew. And again, superstars, fine. Superstars should be paid top dollars. But when average guys are making the top dollar, boy, there's something wrong. I mean, you and I have been in management, Dan. You and I have been in ownership. We're not going to give top dollars for average salespeople, are we?
Nope.
Can you imagine a loan officer coming to me as a sales manager and saying, okay, Carlos, here's my resume. I closed 6 loans last year. Give me a 95% split. I'll tell them to get lost. 95% split? How many deals did you close last year?
Yeah.
No. Now,
yeah, I'm going to be right. I'll be right back. Carry on. But hey, I just wanted to say shout out to Red Jet. Good to see you in the chat, Red Jet. Look and see you out there on what's Instagram, Instagram and other mediums, YouTube. Check out Red Jet's stuff, man. She's got some great photography she puts together.
Yes, she does.
First class stuff. But I'll be right back. I got to go take care of something real quick.
Yeah. This is something that I think about from time to time. And again, I would love to hear some feedback in the chat about what is your viewpoint of sports in general. I mean, we're all sports fans. Some of us played sports. Some of us, you don't have to play sports to be a sports fan. But I mean, some of us have been playing baseball, basketball, football, hockey, whatever, for years and years and years. Some of us has watched it for decades. It's an escape from reality, right? Our everyday jobs, Monday through Friday, the grind. Sports is entertainment, just like going to a concert is entertainment. Although when you go to a concert and you go to a comedy show, if you know who the comedian is, you kind of know that you're going to have good entertainment. When you pay a heavy price for a sporting event and you're rooting for a certain team, you don't know what you're going to get. I'll never forget when I paid top dollars to go see the Giants and Dodgers. Oh, it was about 11 years ago. And I paid a pretty good price to sit behind the plate. And the Dodgers beat them like 15-2 that game. So you don't know what you're going to get as far as sports entertainment goes. But what I really want to ask the chat, I really want to get, I think you guys kind of know me, that I don't just kind of, I'm not crazy about talking about the Giants. That's why I'm not on here every night. They're a boring product to me. So that's why I'm kind of a part-timer now. But I like to get into the deeper aspect of sports. So the deeper aspect to me is salaries, professional athlete salaries, how it translates to us as fans and how we pay for ticket prices. Does it make you like the game a little bit less? You still watch it on TV, but my point is like, we get really upset like when our teams lose, especially in the playoffs. Super Bowl, Niners, for example, just recently. And I'm just of the opinion that these athletes, I think they're kind of laughing at us behind closed doors. They're not going to say this on a microphone in an interview. They're going to say always the right thing about, I'm crushed. Man, it's always next year. I thought we had it. We were the better team. We just didn't play. They'll say they're almost like trained actors. They know what to say when this is in front of them. But when it's not in front of them, I don't think they care that much. When those checks are coming the way they are, I don't think they care as much about winning or losing as fans do. And again, I'm just kind of curious. I want to hear the vibe of the room. Do you like the game? No matter what sport you love the most, do you love it as much as you did 10, 20 years ago? And if you don't, why? Is it because the game has changed? Is it the economics of the game? Is it you can't go to sporting events as much because it's so expensive? I want to hear some feedback on that, because this is a topic that I've wanted to discuss on this show, quite frankly, for a while. And because it's a good group, and it's a good solid group of fans that understand sports, but just the economics of it. I mean, for me, and I think I've mentioned this before, Dan, like to me, all three sports I don't like as much. I don't like baseball as much because I've said this many times before. I like the purity of hitting a baseball.
Yeah.
It's just not there. I like the strategy of baseball. I like hitting and running. I like bunting.
Yeah. I know.
I have seen in the last few, of course, I play fantasy baseball, so I watch a lot of games and watch my players hit. I've seen so many games go to the 10th inning. They got the guy, the top of the 10th, they hold them. They hold them. It's still a tie game going to the bottom of the 10th. You get the ghost runner on at second base, and you're just thinking, this is an automatic bunt them over. Now a sacrifice fly wins the game. You don't need to hit. You just got to get the ball in the air. Almost nobody does it. They're all trying to get
especially
hit.
It's unbelievable, Los. It's
Yeah, the strategy.
I don't like. You know what? They've messed with the game too much to try and speed it up. And you know what? Baseball. Why do you not have the Manfred role, the runner on second in the playoffs? Why? Because it's a joke. How about in regular season? Let's go regular baseball for at least 2 innings, the 10th and the 11th. You want to put a man on second? How about this? You want to get your game over with so it doesn't go beyond 13 innings?
Yeah.
How about this? We go 2 innings, regular baseball, 10th and 11th. 12th, we start with a man on second. If we still go to the 13th now, we're sticking runners on second and third. You know what? Where do you stop? Why don't you just load the bases? In fact, why don't you just give one team a run? I mean, you get a run and the home team has to be just, it's unbelievable to me. Play baseball 10th and 11th innings. You don't win the game, then it's 12th inning, man on second. 13th inning, man, it's second and third. I like it. It's just I hate the pitch clock at 20 seconds or 18 seconds now. Guys are just, you can see the pitchers, they get the ball back and then they got to throw. I mean, I get it at times, but when there's runners on base, you got to have a little bit to rest. I would find a way around those rules, man. I'm stepping off the rubber. I'm taking my disengagement, man, when I got a time. And if I got to do it twice I'll take, if I'm up 0-2 and it's a tight, maybe, I don't know. It's just, you got to do what you got to do.
It's very interesting. We almost never talk about hockey on this channel, but it's interesting to me that hockey, if it's tied in regulation, you go to 1 overtime. And if it's tied after that, then it's just a tie. It's a tie.
I like that.
And what would baseball fans think that, okay, we get rid of the man at second to start it. We just play regularly. If there's no winner after 12 innings, the game ends at a tie. Probably baseball purists would probably hate it. They probably hate it.
Yeah.
But they also hated intramural baseball for a while. They probably hated the pitcher not hitting and the universal DH. Baseball's always changing. Always changing.
Hockey goes to a shootout. How about if we go to a?
Yeah, that's right.
How about if we do that?
That's right.
How about if we hockey? What do they play? 5-minute overtime. How does it work if it's tied? Now, Robert, if he's out there, I know he's a big hockey guy. Senior might be a hockey. I can't remember how hockey goes. I know I love hockey in the playoffs. It's just sudden death, full 20-minute periods.
Oh, look at Haruka. Highlight him. Japanese baseball rules.
What are their rules?
He says Japanese baseball rules timed for 3.5 hours. Hold on, let's scroll up. Yeah.
Oh.
Nothing past 20 innings, and there's ties. Oh, I did not know that. I just threw that out there. I did not know that. Good knowledge, Haruka.
Okay, so hockey goes to a 5-minute overtime. How about if we go regular baseball, 10th inning and 11th inning? If nobody wins, we just have 5 guys come up, just like in hockey.
Ooh, I got a good
home run derby, baby.
Ooh, I got an idea. Ooh, they'll never do it, but this is juicy. Okay, it's tied after 9 innings. We go to the 10th inning. No runner at second. At the start of the 10th inning, each team has 1 less defensive player on the field. You have to pick them. First base still has to play. Catcher still has to play. But out of all the other positions, 1 guy has to come off the field. You either got to go with outfielders, you got to get rid of a shortstop, you got to get rid of a second baseman. What does that do? It creates more holes, creates more opportunities for scoring. Okay, if there's nobody a winner after 10 innings, then 2 guys come off the field. And so on and so on. Hey, that's crazy. I know, but I'm just kind of thinking, how fun would that be? Like,
what is fun to watch? The banana. What's those guys called? The Savannah Bananas.
Yeah.
Entertain, man. Could you imagine the entertainment out there where there's a big giant hole in the outfield because you only got one outfielder now?
Hey, Mark Graves, I am old school, man, but I'm just trying to be like creatively thinking here of ideas.
Hey, look, once you screw with the once you screw with the game of baseball, which is a game they've already screwed with it by putting a guy on second base. Okay.
Yeah. That's really messing with the game right there.
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. I like somebody else's Bud Brad, I think, put an idea out there. 10th inning, runner on first. 11th, you go to the 11th inning, runner on second. Get into the 12th inning, you got a runner starting at third. On third, if you can't score. I mean, I don't know.
I understand with 162 games, and oh my God, especially now that starting pitchers can't go past 6 or 7 innings and bullpens are getting killed. I get it, man. You cannot have 17-inning games and then come back the next day and play. You're asking for injuries now, and injuries is never a good thing, especially to the star players. So I get it that you can't have these long, ridiculously long games. You can't. Because there's just too many games. There's just way too many games.
I like that Japanese rule. I mean, what happens if you could do this, Los?
Nothing past 3.5 hours.
What happens if you could just go 13 innings and let's say you have a 27th man pitcher. He's a pitcher, starting pitcher. He comes up from AAA. He doesn't count again. You just have him sitting on that roster, and he's designated. If you're going to use him, you can use him in the for extra innings or something. You know, let's say he just wants to go the 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. He can go 4 innings for you, and you can send him right back down. I don't know. Or there's I don't know. Shoot, we're
grasping for straws.
Sure. Yeah, we're grasping for straws.
For sure. But getting back to the whole not liking the game as much. You know, whether it's financially, whether it's just the rules of the game. I mean, football. I'm a defensive guy. I love defensive football. I've gone to so many games at Candlestick. And I'll tell you what, that crowd at Candlestick would get just as loud on a Ronnie Lott hit over the middle, not laying out a receiver or a tight end, as they did a Jerry Rice touchdown, Roger Craig touchdown. They did. I was there. They loved. I mean, the Niners had a reputation of being a finesse team. That's BS. That defense was physical, and it was led by 42. And 42 laid people out. Go watch Ronnie Lott's highlights, and I think people forget how hard he hit people. That stadium was electric. Once they started taking out being able to hit people, and I get it, they're trying to be safe, but the NFL is hypocritical. If you're really being safety with players and worried about people getting hurt, then why the hell do you have 17 games? And you're about to go to 18 games. Why do you have games on Thursday Night Football after they just killed each other on a Sunday, and then you're going to play 4 days later? So the NFL is hypocritical. You want safety, but no, you really don't. So football to me is not as exciting because of how the defensive players are handcuffed, how they can't touch the quarterback without roughing the quarterback, especially when it's, oh my God, you can't touch Mahomes. You can't touch some of the Aaron Rodgers, some of the better quarterbacks in the league. They can't get hit very hard because you'll get an automatic. Brady, you couldn't breathe on Brady without a 15-yard penalty. So football, definitely don't like the way the game is played right now. Basketball, I love Showtime. I'm not the Lakers. I just like that style of basketball. I loved fast breaks. I loved 3-on-1s and seeing a dunk or a layup. Now 3-on-1s are the guy brings it up to the middle of the court. You guys go to the corner, and either he tries to score going to the basket or he kicks it out for a three. I mean, and I love me Steph Curry, but he definitely changed how the game is played. It's very, very pointer dominated. So yeah, all three major sports. I'm not trying to sound like Gran Torino and Clint Eastwood, get off my lawn, but I really am not. I'm trying not to go that route, but I really I'm being honest. I enjoyed the games the way they played. I enjoyed baseball mascots. I enjoyed the San Diego Chicken and the Philly Fanatic. I enjoyed Billy Martin getting out there and going nose to nose with the manager, with the umpires. I enjoyed Tommy Lasorda coming out with his fat ass.
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome.
And when he got kicked out, he had to walk all the way to right field to go up the visitors' tunnel, getting booed, and he's blowing kisses. That was entertainment. That was baseball.
Yeah,
baseball beautiful. I love Morgana the Bandit and her 42 triple Ds coming out and trying to kiss somebody. I mean,
was that Rick Monday or somebody?
Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan got on his knees and said, "Come here, baby."
Did he really? I missed that one.
He did. So yeah, I just the game was just the technology and everything has obviously made it different. Like Dan said, the pitch clock. Baseball is not a game that you should have. That's what made the game so unique.
Yeah, it's what made it unique, man.
You didn't look up at the clock and go, "Oh man, they're running out of time."
Hey, Giants have a old-fashioned doubleheader this year coming up against Colorado. I love doubleheaders. I don't like I don't want to drive all the way. When I lived in Concord, I didn't want to drive to in fact, I probably wouldn't drive to San Francisco for a 2-hour and 20-minute game today. Because I want to sit there and enjoy. I used to like to get there for batting practice. If I could get in, just get a drink, have my food, watch the, batting practice, walk around the park, just enjoy the day. Man, now it's just like in and out. It's like going to a movie. It's like, okay, it's a 2-hour movie, 2-hour, 30-minute movie. And if you're going to watch a Giants, it's probably a boring movie with no action. I mean, tonight you got some action in one inning.
It was also more of a community type of thing, because if you had season tickets or if you had a mini plan, you sat in the same seat.
Yep.
You saw the same group of people around you. And it was like a little family. You knew this person, you knew this couple, you knew this guy behind you. And baseball is the one sport that you don't have to be watching, every second. You have a pitch and then another 20 seconds before another pitch. And then in between innings, they change, into one dugout and the other team comes out of the dugout. They have to warm up. There's a lot of time to have conversation. And that's what makes baseball so damn unique. And you leave it the way it is. And when you start messing with it and speeding it up, you're taking away the true essence of what makes that game beautiful. And the people that really love the game, they didn't care if they were there for 3.5, 4 hours. They didn't care if they were there for a doubleheader. Oh, 2 for the price of 1? That's even more. Now that's a getaway from reality. I mean, you're talking about, I'm going to be pissed off being at a doubleheader. Oh, let me go back to my Monday through Friday grind at work and get stuck in traffic. No, I think I'll stay here for my doubleheader. Now, if it's 90 degrees and you're baking in the sun, I get it. But I went to quite a few doubleheaders, man. I loved every minute. I didn't leave early. You know how many times later on when you're trying to beat traffic and stuff like that, you would leave a game early? Like, I never wanted to leave a game early back in the day. I wanted to soak up every inning of it. That's what made the game great. So, yes, I am old school about that. Very much so.
Yeah. So Well, cool, man. Senior says he loved extra inning games that went to 2 a.m. Yeah, a few of those happened, but it was, it was awesome about it.
Quad a candlestick.
One of the greatest. Did you ever see that game? It was Sterling. John Sterling was announcing for the Braves at the time. Mm-hmm. And it was like the 17th or 18th. It was like this crazy game. And the Braves were playing. Oh, gosh. I can't remember who it was, but the game got nutty, right? And one team went up in the top half of the inning by 2 or 3 runs. And they're out of players. And they bring up this pitcher that never hits. And Sterling's like goes, oh my goodness, if he hits one out of here, this night is nuts or something. And, a couple pitches later, it's like an 0-2 pitch. And I can't remember the pitcher. Somebody in the chat knows it. He hits one out and ties the game up like in the 17th. It was like I wish I could play it on here. I wonder if I could if I found it. That was unbelievable. I wonder if I could just play that. Let me see if I can find it. John, isn't that his name? John what's his name? The Yankees announcer. That Yankees win. Yeah, John Sterling with the Yankees.
Oh hell, I'm trying to. When I get into my monologue here, I don't read the chat. So yeah, hell yeah, I want to go in a time machine and back to 80s and 90s baseball. But if I don't know how old or young you are, but if you saw 80s or 90s baseball live, you want to go back there too. It's a much better product than today. You didn't have to throw 9,800 miles an hour to get people out. People had control, pinpoint control. It was a strategy game. It was a speed game. And
yes, it was the Rick Camp call. I wonder if we could do this. Let me see. Can we? Let me see.
Watching baseball right now and watching like fantasy players and these approaches. Oh my God! You know what it is? I've said this before as well. And that's not just the Giants. Teams want to get the starting pitcher out of the game. Like they have, it's preached in their soul in spring training. Take pitches, get the start of the game. Not be aggressive. How many times have all of you watched games, whether you're watching it for fantasy or you're just watching it for pure baseball? This year, last year, the last 5 years, how many times have you watched guys take fastballs right down the middle in the first pitch? I mean, cookie cutter right down the middle with a guy in scoring position. Like aggressive hitters smell an RBI. And if you're going to give me that pitch, I'm hacking at it. This is what I see a lot in baseball today. Man at third, man at second, 1 out. First pitch, fastball down the middle. Second pitch, slider, curve away, low and outside, fouled off. Wow, we're 0-2. What are the chances of you coming through now on an 0-2? I see so many guys in 0-2, 0-2, 1-2, 1-2. They're behind because they're taking that first pitch. And that's one thing I loved about Matos. Like when he had men on base, he wasn't waiting around. He was hacking at that first pitch. Now that got him in trouble because then the scouting report came about on him and they said, oh, he likes to swing at that first pitch. So they made an adjustment. That's where he has to make a counter adjustment. They're not going to throw it down the middle of the plate. But the passive nature of baseball hitters today is a lot of the reason why there's only 11 people hitting 300. That to me is sad. 11 guys are hitting 300 at baseball right now. If you don't believe me, go look it up. 11. When the norm is 30 to 40 guys. So the batting average is gone. And it's not because there's better pitching. I will never believe there's better pitching now than there was 10, 20 years ago. Yeah. Throwing faster doesn't mean you're a better pitcher. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Carlos Rodon is not going to the Hall of Fame, but Greg Maddux is. And one throws very hard and one doesn't. Tom Glavine's a better pitcher than, I don't know, just name somebody off the top. Jordan Hicks. Good pitcher, throws hard. Would you take Glavine or would you take Jordan Hicks?
Yeah. I wonder if we could play this game. I don't know.
Wisely doesn't have as many at bats, Bub. You got to actually have a certain amount of at bats to qualify to being in that list. FYI. I love Dela Cruz. It's a good point, Ben. He's a throwback. Love Dela Cruz. He's taking advantage of those big bases, man. Whew. I know he doesn't hit very well for average, but he's an exciting player.
Play this game, but you guys got to go check out. Just Google Rick Camp home run. He hits a home run in the 18th inning after for the Braves to tie it up. They got no players left. The guy never hit a home run in his life. Ernie Johnson was also on with John Sterling of the Braves, and he said, Ernie, if he hits a home run here, it certifies this game is absolutely nuts or something like that. And then there's all of a sudden, oh, deep drive! Oh no! The place goes nuts. It's like in the 18th inning, the game that would never end. But the senior saying he liked games till 2 a.m. reminded me of that. You guys got to go check it out.
Dan, we also do not have nicknames in baseball anymore. We used to have Jim Catfish Hunter, Mark the Bird,
the Bird Fidget. I was just going to name him, yeah.
And Dan's favorite player, John the
Blue
Count.
Moon. Oh, John the Count Montefusco. How about John Blue Moon Odom?
Any nicknames in baseball anymore?
Yeah, what is it?
That's what I'm saying, man. I'm saying it was more of a game.
Oh, yeah, there's another one. Oil Can Boyd. That was Dennis.
Oil Can Boyd. Yeah, come on. Let's go, chat. Step up your game. Let me see some nicknames. Yep, I said Catfish.
How about the Stretch? Willie McCovey.
Willie the Stretch McCovey.
How about Will the Thrill Clark?
Willie Pops Stargell.
Yeah.
I loved Pops. I love Stargell. Hit the farthest home run I've ever seen in Candlestick live. Hit it into the upper deck and right center at Candlestick. Right center.
There we go. There's a couple names.
Nice, bub. Hey,
Jack the Ripper.
Our former closer, Shooter.
Oh,
Rest in peace, Shooter.
Fifth Pocoroba. Remember him for the Atlanta Braves? Glenn throws him out. Oh, yes. We forgot to put that. I think I put the wrong one. Sponsor this show tonight, sponsored by Northern Lights Entertainment. Go check out Northern Lights Entertainment. I believe it's Northern Lights Entertainment Radio.ca. Go check that out.
Right on, Glenn. Good one. Grad Admiral. Nice. The Mad Hungarian. Loved him. What a nutcase, man. See, that's what I'm talking about. Who was it that wanted me to go back in a time machine? Was it Bub Rad? See, again, I don't know how old you are, Bub, but like you're just seeing all the chat, like mentioned.
Gary the Sarge Matthews, yeah.
Man, it was just a funner game.
Everybody had a nickname. Yeah, everybody had a nickname. Now they call these guys like you hear them talk about Chapman, like Chappie, Cheppy, or
yes. Hey, Ron Raquel, yes, he did hit that off Tom Griffin. Man, yep. Good knowledge right there. It's the farthest ball I've ever seen hit in a baseball game live.
Johnny Boo Master.
That was, yeah. Greg the Moon Man. How did he get the nickname the Moon Man? Where did that come from?
Probably shined the moon. Maybe I don't know. And who knows? Probably he was kind of nutty.
There's always I
interviewed the Moon Man. Yeah. Yeah, those are great days. Anyway, I got to run.
Yeah.
It's a couple hours long now, and we're good. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Eric will be back joining us tomorrow night. We'll come on tomorrow. Giants play a day game. This is the hard part of the Giants. You know, they got through their pitching with Webb, and Harrison went the other night, and Hicks, and then once they get to 4 and 5, they're toast. I mean, tomorrow's Keaton win. I mean, this is tough. You got to.
It's not sustainable.
That's why when they lose Webb starts, which they had lost prior to his last couple, they won. They were 4 and 10 in his first 14 starts, and now they've won a couple of his starts. But when they lost Webb starts, that's why they're in trouble, because they don't have anything behind them. You know, and maybe Cobb comes around, but I don't expect much from Cobb. Ray, and who's the other one they're saying is supposed to come back?
Snell.
Oh, Snell. Can you count? I don't know. Can you count on these guys? Snell basically.
And even if he does come back to good form, you're still only going to get 5 or 6 innings out of him.
Oh, you're getting 5 max, I think.
So, again, it's one of the reasons I did not want Snell.
You were right on that.
They needed starters. You know who actually I kind of wanted? I didn't mention it on the show, so I don't want to sound like I knew what I was talking about. I kind of like the kid with the Yankees. He's not a kid. Marcus
Stroman.
Yeah,
he was available. He's a ground ball pitcher.
7 innings, and he's a ground ball pitcher. He pitches to contact.
Yeah,
you know, he's not going to overwhelm you.
Here too.
I liked him, and they could have got him for a pretty bargain price. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey guys, we'll be on tomorrow night, Saturday night. Tomorrow, I would say 8 or 8:30. Check for us.
Thank you, Ron.
And you guys, as Lo said earlier, to all the fathers out there, Sunday's Father's Day. We wish you all a happy Father's Day. It's an important role in the lives. Need good men, need strong men to lead the next generation, right? And the generation. Yeah, just keep building. But hey, thanks to all you out there that joined us in the chat tonight. Great to see all of you. Good to see Red Jet again out here. Thank you, Aaron. Thanks to Mark Graves as our mod and one of our mods. We've got a few other mods in here watching over the chat. Mark's always out there doing a great job. Trying to think of anybody else that's been a mod. I'm looking through the chat in here. But it's a good group, man. We have a lot of fun in here. Don't forget, we've got this. See if I can find it here. I'll try and find the overlay. I'm not good at this, like Eric. Let me see. He's got it in here somewhere. I think we've got a weekend planned. Here it is, guys. There we go. Meet up in the desert, September 23rd, 24th. Los and I are down here. Will B is now in the Tucson area, just a couple of hours away from Phoenix. He'll be coming up. There's 3 Arizonas guys. Several of you have brought up you'd like to come down. We'll work it out. We'll have a fun time. We'll get together. We'll go to, pizza place or something. We'll play some ping pong, and we'll go to the game, 1 or 2 games at least, minimum 1, hopefully maybe 2, and might be for a wild card spot. These 2 teams might be fighting it. I would venture to guess it will be a battle for one of those wild card spots. So plan on coming if you want to come and yeah, it'll be a fun time. And what else do we got here? Fossey says, stay here. NorCal Sports Chat is a safe place. I don't know what that was, but that was much earlier tonight. I was scrolling back. Let's see if we got any other ones. Well, we got a lot of comments in here tonight. Go all the way back to the bottom. Oh, yeah, Northern Lights, Eric and Glenn on tomorrow morning. Eric makes his radio debut. Can't wait to work with him. You guys check that out. Glenn, what's the which station will they listen to on that? Is that at Northern Lights Entertainment? What is it? Radio? Let me see. I don't know if I've got that in here. I don't know if I got the right overlay here. Hold on. Northern Lights. I don't know. I'm not the tech guy here. Where is that? I don't see the overlay in here. Where it goes. But I'm looking. Anyway, I'm going to have Glenn put it in the chat. I think it's Northern. You can listen where, Glenn? Northern Lights Entertainment Radio.ca, I believe. Not sure what the time is. Maybe Glenn can let us know. Will B says at the meetup, he's bringing cigars. Okay. There you go. And Los will be in his, what do they call those? Cup hats? What kind of hat is that?
Which hat?
The kind that bucket hat, not cup hat, bucket hat. I can see Los in a bucket hat smoking a cigar. Yeah.
I'll bring one to Chicago.
There we go. All right, guys. We are out of here tonight. Again, we'll see you tomorrow. I'm sorry for the bad optics here on the technical end. I'm slow at this. See if we can close out with the kids here in the background. Everybody, thanks for joining. We will see you tomorrow night, 8:30. And for Los, for myself, thank you. Have a great Saturday, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good one.